What is going on, guys? We are back with the next installment of the Understanding the Officer video series, and today's focus is going to be Heaven's Savior. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Welcome back, guys. We are going to be jumping in and covering Heaven's Savior. He is one of the last few remaining Generation 1 officers, and Air Force officers specifically, that we are going to be covering as we close out 2024. If you are a new player in Warpath and learn anything from these videos or get any value out of these Understanding the Officer videos, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel. Now let's go ahead and jump in and start talking about Heaven's Savior, and I will give you my thoughts and opinions on him as we go. So when I first started playing Warpath, I mean, gosh, coming up on, I guess, March of 2025 is going to be 4 years, so it's been quite a while. When I first started playing Warpath, Heaven's Savior was one of the early fighter plane specific officers we had. He was one of the few options that we had early in the game, and on paper, his skills seemed good. Obviously, they don't seem good now because we've got Generation 2, 3, and now 4 officers available who have, skills that just blow any Generation 1 officer out of the water for the most part. But at the time, his skills seemed good. But even when they were all maxed out and he was fully awakened, he was a very lackluster officer, to say the least. But we're going to take a look at his skills, and I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on where you can try to get some additional value out of him. So starting with skill 1, if this officer is in a fighter plane troop, reduces the AA firepower of all enemy fighter planes within 5 map grids by 15%, and their harass capability by 20%. This skill also increases the ground firepower of all friendly bombers within 5 map grids by 15%. Skill number 2 increases the damage resist of this officer's troop by 25% while being attacked by a base. Skill number 3 increases the HP of this officer's fighter plane by 30%. Skill number 4 increases the intercept of this officer's fighter plane by 35%. And then his 5th and fully awakened skill is going to increase, it's going to be, I should say, the same as his first tactical skill with an additional 15% going to the firepower of all friendly bombers within 5 map grids. So to get right to the point, is he a good investment either immediately early in the game, mid-game, or late game? The answer is absolutely not. Now, like I was saying towards the beginning of the video, on paper, he seems to have some skills that would bring value to your Air Force lineup, depending on how heavily, of course, you invest in your Air Force, and also what kind of Air Force composition that you build. If you go all fighters, or if you go, a fighter with a couple bombers, a couple bombers with a fighter, however you want to stack it up. At first glance, he seems to be okay, especially when he, with his first tactical skill, increases the ground firepower of all friendly bombers within 5 map grids. Now, the problem with this is that's his first tactical skill, which means that you can't use that to, or you can't use that via the officer skill training system to apply to another officer. So you're having to basically invest in a skill that, otherwise, if for an officer that you're otherwise not ever really going to use mid and late game, and I would highly advise you to stay away from him just in general completely, with the exception of if you want to invest in one of his 3 passive skills here for the officer skill training system. One skill that I would, maybe consider investing in, which it does not do a very good job, but some help is better than no help, if you will, which is increase the damage resist of this officer's troop by 25% while being attacked by a base, right? A lot of times enemy fighter planes are, kind of idling over their bases or their ally bases, or you'll see a army group, whether it's inactive or not, and a lot of times they're going to be roaming around in their territory, so you're going to send a bomber out, and when you do that, any bases that you fly over that are a part of their alliance are going to start to attack you via their AA guns. And so this is going to help you, with a little bit of durability and survivability there. Doesn't make a big difference, but something is better than nothing. So if you do invest into your bombers, this may be a skill you want to consider investing in to use strictly for the officer skill training system. Or if you go all in on fighters, then you might consider investing in just his 4th skill, which is going to increase the intercept of the fighter plane by 35%. So that has some value there too, again, if you go heavy into your fighter planes. All in all though, Heaven Savior is not really worth your time or investment. Pick out one of his passive skills depending on the composition of your Air Force and invest in one of those for the skill training system and leave it at that. If you do have any additional questions, thoughts, or concerns, let me know those in the comments below. If you have stuck around and made it this far into the video, if you've got access to Discord and are not already in our community Discord server, the link to that is going to be in the description of the video. Click on that link. It'll take you right into the community Discord server, whether you are a new player and have more questions, want to learn, or if you're a veteran player and just want to come hang out and get to know more people in the community. It doesn't matter. Absolutely everybody is welcome. As always, thanks for taking the time to watch the video today, and we'll see you on the next one.